Okay, everybody, we're ready to start. Sorry for the delay. Usually we're all pretty prompt here, but there was a little bit of a technical difficulty, which is fine. It just means we're going to work a little harder to get everything in our class today. So let's get started. For those of you that are on Facebook and didn't hear me before, we need to have some type of a band, preferably like a light and a heavy one would be good. If you have one, don't worry about it. Okay, and then we're going to be using some weight. So the weight can be soup cans, or it can be water bottles. It can be actual dumbbells if you have any, preferably two. We're going to be doing bilateral work today. And last but not least, a dowel. So anything that is longer than your shoulder width, okay? It can be a broomstick, a dead hockey stick. It can be a dragon boat paddle, whatever it is that you have around. Some people even use umbrellas, okay? So gather those things. And today our theme is going to be release work, which we're going to quickly do today. I'm not going to spend too much time on it since we're running a little behind. A warm up, and then we're going to get into some pushing and pulling. Okay, so gather yourself. If you need a ball, I don't have a ball to demonstrate with today, but ideally, if you're going to use a ball, it should be like smaller than this. A tennis ball would be ideal, and you can just use the ball to do any release work. For those of you that use a ball, you know what to do. Otherwise, you can just follow along and you're going to use your hands. And we're just going to get right into the pec muscles here. And Kimberly, I have sent a private message to Florence, and she'll get back to you on the YouTube classes once she's situated. Okay. And good. Just getting right into the muscle there. So getting behind the breast tissue. And you can even start to work up a little higher, so we can kind of get into pec minor, which is going to be a little bit higher up here and into the shoulder. You're kind of just trying to work everywhere that gets kind of tight. So a lot of us tend to be here, especially if we use a mobility device. So make sure that we're really trying to get that opening, and that's going to help us with a lot of our exercises that we do today. So the more you can get into these muscles and get some movement going, the better. Okay, and then we will go up into the trap because so many of us have tension up in here. So we're working right up into the neck, all the way out to like right at this bone here. You're going to work right in that area. Okay, you can like get right in. Some of us might want to get deeper and do a bit of that pinching action. Okay, whatever feels good for today. And then we're going to do a bit of release here. So you're going to put your finger on a spot that feels tender. We're going to push down, tuck that chin back, and we're going to peel the ear away to the other side. So pin the hand, peel the ear away to the other side. Good. Pin the hand, peel the ear away. And 6, nice. Okay, if you're not at my tempo, that's okay. It's better to get quality out than quantity of your reps with this. And awesome, good. Shake that out, good. And I see the YouTube link is now posted. So there you go, Kimberly. When you're done, you can copy paste that link to find more videos, because these are all recorded, which is why we had technical difficulties to make sure that these get recorded. Okay. So other side, getting right into that pec muscle. Make sure you're breathing when you're doing this, especially if you're finding some areas that are a bit uncomfortable, just from tightness or maybe sensitivity. Okay, and then you can start to work your way up into the pec minor here, and even into the anterior shoulder. Okay, we won't be doing too much pressing overhead, but we will be doing some pushing, which is exactly these muscles. So we want to make sure that they're nice and warm. Okay, good. And then right up into the traps here. So remember, where you can go up into the neck all the way out to this bony landmark right here at the top of your shoulder. So right in between that is going to be your best option. Okay, just getting into those muscles, trying to get some movement in there. You can do tiny little circles. You can seesaw back and forth. You can do the pinching action, whatever works for you. Okay, and I'd be shocked if we didn't feel something here, because most of us carry a lot of tension here. So we want to try and really get in there and get some blood flow, get some movement up here so we can try and get these to not take over our whole workout. And you're going to find a spot, you're going to pin it down, you're going to push your chin back, pin the hand, and then pull that ear away to the other side. So when you do that, when you pin that muscle and then pull, you should feel it like tightening, because now we're lengthening it because it's pinned down. So if you don't feel anything, either you need to bring your chin back or you're not pressing down on the right spot. Okay. That's it. Last two here. Good. Okay, from there, awesome. We're going to go right into neck rotation. So we're going to look, and then we're going to come to the center, and we're going to look, and we're going to come to the center, and look, come to the center, and look, and center. Good. Last two. And now we're going to look up. So eyes to the ceiling, one, and then center. Grab something with your chin and center. Good. Up and center. Grab something with your chin and center. And up and center. And center. Nice. Up and center. Good. And now we're going to do a half circle because we already did our release. So you're going to take your nose and make a half circle with control and then end at the other side. So we're almost like looking diagonal. Half circle, using your nose to lead. Hold. Half circle. Hold. Half circle. And hold. Half circle. And hold. And again, half circle. And hold. Good. Shoulder rolls. We're going to come forward, 1 and 2. Keep going, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. We're going to go backwards, 1, 2. Nice and big with those shoulder circles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to tuck the chin around the spine all the way down, grabbing the backs of your legs if you need to. Try and pull yourself down into your thighs, slowly rolling up. Okay, hands behind you if you can. Hands behind if you can. Shoulder blades in your back pockets, eyes to the sky, and lift. And you want to think of getting your heart up to the ceiling. Deep breath here, and then we go back down. So we're going to tuck that chin first, round in the spine, go all the way down. Hopefully you can still hear me. Looking at your shins or in between your legs. Use anything around you to help you get down. You can grab the rims of your chair, your legs, whatever you need. Hands behind you, eyes to the sky, and then heart up. Shoulder blades in your back pockets. Expose your neck. Big inhale here, and we're going to do 2 more together. Exhale, tuck that chin, rounding in the spine, all the way down. Good, slowly rolling up. And we're going to take our hands behind us, eyes to the sky, heart up to the ceiling, shoulder blades in our back pockets. Excellent. And last time, tuck that chin, rounding in the spine. Slowly rolling down. And slowly rolling up. Hands behind you, eyes to the sky, shoulder blades in the back pockets. And now we're going to reach up and over, and I want you to arc over your head. So with this, we want to try and get the hand above our head. We don't want to be down here. So really expose that armpit to the ceiling. And then we're going to take it up to the other side. So reach up, try and expose that armpit to the ceiling. You don't have to look up. You can look straight forward. Okay, especially if you have some neck issues going on, we want to avoid kind of turning the neck like that or any neck tightness or straining. Reach up and over, trying to make really big shapes in space, reaching for the opposite wall. Good. I'm leaning on my opposite hand. So you can lean, support yourself, reach, feeling that side body. Deep breath as you move through it. Good. Trying to make big shapes in space. All the way over. Nice. We're going to do one more because this feels so good today. Reach up and over. And all the way over last time. And we reach big shapes. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now you're going to take that same hand and you're going to look over and try and tap your shoulder. And I'm trying to actually grab behind my shoulder. So I'm really twisting. I'm getting a nice big twist. And twist. Eyes should go with your hand. Twist. And twist. Feet are flat on the floor. Twist. And twist. And again. Twist. And twist. 2 more here. And twist. And twist. Good. Okay, now I'm going to turn. So we're going to do this. We've been working on this little hamstring stretch, low back stretch. So we're going to sit tall. And then if you need to, you're going to take a leg out and extend it out in front of you. Okay, so version 1 is we're going to, if you need a little bit more support or we don't have a lot of trunk function, you're going to walk yourself down, trying to keep your spine long. So you can see how my spine here, I'll just give a little example. I could keep a dowel along my spine and it stays the same shape as the dowel. So I'm not doing this. Do we see that? Here. Okay. So I'm walking myself down, keeping my spine long, and then I'm using my hands to walk myself back up. Okay, that's version 1. Version 2, we're going to have our hands up. This is if you have pretty good trunk and you're going to think of reaching out and away with a nice long spine. Try and tap your foot and then come back up. Okay, here we go. Reach, and I'll show this version for a few and then I'll switch it up. 2. Okay, one leg is extended. Reach 3. And reach 4. Nice. Okay, this is 5. And now I'm going to show the other version. So keep doing what you're doing. Walk it down 6. And this is 7. And this is 8. And this is 9. Good. And again. And this is 10. And then come on up. Beautiful. Okay, so now you can bring your leg back. We're going to exchange it and do the other leg now. So if you need to take it out, that's fine. Okay, I'll do this version first. So we're going to walk it down, keeping that spine long, and then walk it back up. Walk it down, keep the spine long, good, and walk it back up. Okay, don't worry if you're not at my tempo. I'll keep saying this. You may not get the same reps that I get out, and that's okay. I'm going quite swiftly just to get out the reps, but you can always go back to this video later and pause it, or you never have to do that amount, okay? That's what's the beauty about this. Nobody can see you. Everybody's doing their own thing. I'm just guiding. Okay, I'll just switch my version so everybody can see. And up, nice long spine. Okay, reach, nice long spine. This is called a hinge. For those of you that like to know what we're doing, similar to a deadlift. Okay, a couple of you in here have a deadlift practice. And again, last 2. And excellent. And that's that. Good. Okay. From there, we're going to go down. Okay. For those of you that have the ability to rise up on your toes. So you're going to think of coming all the way up on the balls of your toes and then coming down. Okay. What I'm looking for though is not using here in the hips. So we shouldn't be feeling work in here. We want to feel work right back here in the calves. Okay. So we're thinking of pushing those toes into the floor as I lift the heel. And lift the heel. Good. Up and down. Nice. up, getting a little bit of blood flow to the lower leg. 3. Good. Sending that blood all the way back up. Okay, this will just be 10. And that's 10. And beautiful. Done. Okay, good. So we're pretty warm, I think. We're going to do one last thing for our warm up just because there are a couple people in here working on some hand therapy. I won't name any names, but let's come in. So let's actually do one at a time just so that everybody can follow along the same. So we're going to bring the hand out. We're going to squeeze like we're squeezing, like grabbing sand. And then you're going to flick water off your fingers. So it's like you're picking up imaginary sand, squeeze so it all falls out, and then flick that water off the fingers. Squeeze, grab everything in your hands, squish that sand, and then flick the water off your fingers. Good. And squeeze and flick. If you're somebody with grip, you want to strengthen your grip or your hand dexterity. These are really good ones to do. Big pull and flick. Let's do one more. Curl and then flick. Good. Shake out that hand. And then we're going to do the other side. So imaginary big pile of sand, squeeze, and then flick that water off those fingers. Big pile of sand, squish it, and then flick the water away. Big pile of sand and flick. And big pile of sand and flick. We're going to do 2 more together. Big pile of sand and flick. And again, and flick. Awesome. Good. Okay. Hopefully we're warm. Get a sip of water. We're going to start with our band and then the dowel shortly after for this first circuit. So we're going to do an external shoulder rotation. So we're going to be here. Hands are palms up. We're hitchhiking the thumbs out. The goal with this is to keep the elbows at the same distance from your rib cage. So from here, as I try and break the band, you can see that my elbows are staying the same. So watch, we're not here, okay? We need to have them right at the sides, okay? And then if this is too challenging, you can widen your base, okay? The closer your hands are, the more challenging. I don't want to see this like tiny. We have to be able to we want to try and work that. If the band is too much for you on that, go no band. And I want you to work on the range, okay? Like even you can see how much more I can go without resistance. That's just as important. So figure out what you're working on today. Grab your band. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do 10 reps of everything today. Okay. And 3, I'm going to be demonstrating with 12 just because I know that I move a little quicker. That gives everybody a bit of time. So 10 reps at least. And 12 and bring it in. Awesome. You can just keep that band lying across your thighs there. Okay. And we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing a push press. So this is pretty much the only press you'll do. So we're going to push. So when we push, we're going to have this right at our chest. You're going to push away and then you're going to press. And then it comes back in. So we push, lift, and then down. Push, lift, and down. Good. I'll start the count. Okay, this will be my 2, and that gives you guys time to catch up. And 3, nice. Push. Make sure you're not looking at the dowel. So when it goes above your head, you're not looking up. We're still looking at the monitor. 6. Good. I'm halfway. This is the only press today. Or sorry, yeah, overhead press, I should say. One more. And good. Okay, let's set that down. Okay, we're going to grab the soup cans for this next one, and we're going to do a bent over row, but with soup cans or with whatever weight you have. So in the past, we've done this with a band, but today we're going to do it with cans. So first, we need to have something that's going to be right in front of us here. Some people like to put a pillow or like a bender ball. And that way, when we lean forward and we get that hinge, we're not rounding over something. So if you need something there, go for it. I'm just going to back this up a little bit. If you don't need something, then you can just come forward and use your abdominals like here. Hands are going to be at your sides, soup cans at the sides. Focus is on the floor, and you're going to do a row. Okay, so this should look familiar because we've done it with a band. But today we're going to do it with your weights. Okay, so I'll give you a second to set up, and we're doing this all together. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze those shoulder blades and in. Squeeze those shoulder blades. The biggest thing with this one is making sure you're truly tipped forward. If you're not, you're going to feel a lot of your neck and those traps that we worked so hard to release. So make sure you're tipped forward far enough to where we're using the back muscles. Should feel right in between those shoulder blades. Good. I'm going to do 2 more here. And that's my end. Awesome. Okay, that's our first circuit of 3. So get some water. We're using every piece of equipment. So we have our dowel, we have our push press, and then we have, this was first, external shoulder rotation, dowel push press, and then the row with the weight. Okay, so here we go with the band. 3, 2, and 1. Keeping those elbows in at your ribs. Feel the shoulder blades working here. So right in between those shoulder blades. Nice. Okay. 1 more for Megan. Good. That was my 12. You can keep it there because we will be coming back. Grab your dowel. Okay, we push press. So we're going to start with the dowel in at our chest. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Push, press, and then bring it back to where you started. Push, press, bring it right back. Push and press. Push and press. Good. Breathing. Keeping that chin tucked so it's like an imaginary peach is under your chin. We're not looking up at the dowel. Okay, last 3 for me. And 3. Awesome. Good. Okay. Grabbing your soup cans again, setting up for the bent over row. So go ahead and have your support here if you need. If you have a hinge and you can hold the hinge, that's great. Just make sure that you're tipped forward enough so that we don't get into this neck section. Okay. Here we go. Eyes on the floor. 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze those shoulder blades and down. Squeeze those shoulder blades and down. That's it. I'm halfway here, breathing. Finishing it up. And slowly release that. Good. Okay, we are on our 3rd round of 3. So get a little bit more water if you need it. And then we're doing a 3rd round. And then we'll move on. Not giving as long a breaks today, just because I want to make sure we get everything in today. So I hope that's okay, but just be aware, it's a little quicker today. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Externally rotate, keeping those elbows in at the ribs. Movement comes from the back body, so right between those shoulder blades. 6. Good. Okay, 2 more here. And awesome. You can take the band and set it aside. You don't need it there anymore. Grabbing your dowel. Here we go. Starting at the chest. Push, press. 3, 2, and 1. Push and press. Peach under the chin. If you can't do the overhead or that's not accessible to you today, you can just do the press. You can just push like this and take out the overhead. That's always an option. There's no wrong way to adapt any of these in terms of if you need to take a section out, that's totally fine. You have to work within your limits and what you can do that day. Sometimes we have awesome days and sometimes days aren't so awesome. So work with what's going to benefit you the most in the long run. And excellent. Awesome. Good. Okay, last time with those soup cans. Here we go. Or weights or whatever it is you're using. Okay, get that support here if you need it. Tipping forward. Eyes on the floor, nice and long. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Two more for me. And excellent. Good. Slowly release that. All right. We are going to keep the soup cans nearby for the first exercise we do. We're actually going to be using all the equipment again. So don't put anything away. Okay. Our first thing is going to be a punch. So I'm going to demonstrate with soup cans. You don't have to. You can use just like fists. It's just like we're shadow boxing. So I want you to cross center. So we're crossing your center. Punch, punch, punch. Okay. I'm going to use soup cans. I'm going to do 24 total. You want to be nice and precise with your movement. So if you had 2 targets right here, you would hit them every time with your fist. We're not like just jabbing anywhere. Okay. If that form is nice and you're hitting the target at every time, go ahead and speed it up. Okay. So speed comes after your form. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Exhaling on the punch. No wiggle parties on those hips. Feet are flat on the floor. Two, and 1, and 1, and. Good. All right, cans aside. Take your band. If you're going to use a band, you're going to tie it or hold it like me because I'm lazy. You're going to tie a band, bring your feet together, and you're going to tie a band, probably a lighter one, around your thighs. If you have a lot of tone in your inner thighs, you're not going to use a band, and I want you to find something that you can put in between those thighs. So like a block or a ball, and you're going to try and drop the ball, and then you'll put it back in on the next set. Okay, so you're working to open the legs, where if you have full range in your hips and no tone in here, we're going to use a band. Okay, so 2 versions. I'm going to demonstrate with the band. Okay, you can tie it if you'd like, or you can pull a Megan and just do this and just hold it. My other hand is going to be on my waist so that I can avoid any like rib popping. Okay, so this stays nice and long. My trunk is solid, no movement here. And I'm going to open up the knees and then bring them back in. And someone made a really good, had a really good question last week. I can't exactly remember who it was. It might have been Janice. But make sure when you're doing this opening, we're not pushing the feet into the floor. So I should be able to do this exercise with my feet not touching the ground if they were like hanging. Okay. So no pushing into the floor. We want to work this outer hip here. So this will be the only time I probably don't say ground those feet. Okay. Hopefully everybody's started by now on their version. Okay, I'll do 10 from here. Six, 7, 8, 9, and that's 10. Good. And pro tip, so I don't know if you can see how mine's rolling like this. This can actually put a lot of pressure into your leg. So if you are, if you have the time or you've got a nice band, try and tie it without it rolling, like so. And this will be, if I can do it, and that will be a lot more comfortable on your legs. Okay. All right, you can leave your band there if you'd like, because we are going to come back. Let's grab your dowel for the last thing we're doing today. We're going to do a timed kayak for 1 minute. Everybody knows how much I love these kayaks. Here we go. Okay, we're doing 1 minute. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Okay, really driving that dowel into the floor. It should look a little more deep diving than mine because I'm going to hit my couch. So if you're in a chair, a standalone chair, or wheelchair, or even in a walker, make sure that you are really driving that dowel down while you stay tall. Good. We are roughly 30 seconds in. Keep going. Breathing. Rotating through that belly button. Neck nice and long. If you have your band on still, actually, this would be a good moment to think about not wiggling your hips or moving those hips. Even a bender ball would be good in between your knees, for those of you that know what I'm talking about. If you have no idea, just keep kayaking. Just don't listen to me. 3, 2, 1, and time. Beautiful. Okay, if we're quick like bunnies, we get to do all of this one more time. So grab a quick sip of water, and we're going to go right back to the punches. Okay, so here we go. Coming in, 3, 2, and 1. Crossing your body. Sitting up tall. Over halfway. Punching right out in front of the chest. And 1. Good. Okay. Grabbing your band again. So, or it might already be there, which is awesome. Okay. Tying it. Holding it. I'm going to do this hand here. Try and not roll it like me if you can help it, and it might feel a little better on your legs. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to do 20 so that we can give everybody enough time to get in their band. If this gets tiring with the band, you can always take it off and just do normal abductions with your knees. That's also very beneficial. If we're not getting any movement, that means it's way too heavy. So adapt as you see fit. And we're working on focusing on the outer hip back here. I'm trying to get those little glute meads working. Smaller hip stabilizers, super important for walking, knee health, gait, sitting tall even, transferring safely, I should say. Good. This is 4, 3, 2, and that's 1. Awesome. Finishing that up. You're done with that band. Last thing we have are our kayaks for our 1 minute. Getting the timer ready. 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Last little kayak trip for today before we call that a workout. We fit in a lot considering we delayed at the beginning. So that's awesome. And just a reminder for those of you where this is way too fast, do what you can. Anything you do and focus on your form is great. And this video will be uploaded so you can pause it later. That's it. Good. Last 30. Keep breathing. Keep rotating. Try and keep that speed that you have. Don't let yourself slow down for these last 5 crucial seconds. And that's time. Awesome. Good. Okay. Set those aside. Get a little sip of water. We are going to do a twist to end today. So we're going to rotate. You're going to sit nice and tall. We're going to rotate. You can even bring a hand up and over the knee if you want. And you're going to rotate and then look over your shoulder. I'm just going to put us on the timer here. And we're on the clock. Breathing. Okay, slowly unwind that. And then you're going to go to the other side. So we take this hand up, bring it over the leg if you'd like, and then rotate, and then you're on the clock. And slowly unwind that. Awesome. Last thing, we're just going to do nice 5 big shoulder rolls. Coming backwards, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's 5. Good. Shake out that neck. Awesome job. Okay, everybody, that's it for today. Once again, for those of you that were new, I see one new name in here. We usually start promptly at 12. So next time, I'm sure it'll happen. But thank you for those who all came today. Reminder, if you're unsure of any of these exercises or you want to look them up, they're all on Ocean Insider Club. So if you're a member, they are on there. If you're not sure what Ocean Insider Club is and you're interested, we do have a new cohort starting with the Disability Foundation in a month or 2. So if that's something that interests you and you want to learn more about online training, please reach out. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all next week.